Unity is strength. When there is tremendous teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. The only thing that will redeem mankind is cooperation. With these words, welcome you all to ABS Creations by your educationalist, Chandrakala. If you have not subscribed the channel, subscribe the channel by pressing the bell icon to receive the notification. In the previous video, we have discussed about the different revolutions which took place between 1830 to 1848 and how the culture played a very important role in emerging nationalist sentiment. And even we have discussed about the great economic hardship felt in Europe, and finally we have seen the revolution by the liberals in France and Germany to be a nation state. In this session, let us discuss about the process of unification of Germany and Italy and even the British as a nation state. Here we go with the map of Europe in 1848. So now you see the map of Europe in 1848. Before 1848, that is before 1815 itself, it was under the control of Napoleonic powers. After the defeat of Napoleon in 1815, so under the Treaty of Vienna in 1815, the entire European nations, they came under the control of conservative regimes. So the revolution took place between 1830 to 1848 to make the conservative regimes, to bring the conservative regimes under the democracy through the revolutionary powers. But after 1848, nationalism in Europe moved away from its association with democracy and revolution. The nationalistic sentiments among the liberal nationalists, everything has been washed away by the conservatives for promoting state power and achieving political dominance over Europe. So as we know that in 1848, the middle class Germans, the nationalistic feelings were widespread among the middle class Germans. In 1848, middle-class Germans, they tried to unite the different regions of German Confederation into a nation state under an elected parliament, that is the Frankfurt Parliament. But the Frankfurt Parliament under the constitutional monarchy, it was a failure. But in Prussia, nation-building acts was repressed by the combined forces of monarchy and the military and was supported by the landowners. So the landowners of Prussia, they were called by the name as Junkers. So in 1848, the middle-class Germans, they tried to unite the different regions of German Confederation into a nation state under an elected parliament, that is the Frankfurt Parliament, under the form of constitutional monarchy. But the constitutional monarchy of Frankfurt Parliament was a failure. In Prussia, the nation-building acts were repressed by the combined forces of the monarchy and the military and were supported by the landowners of Prussia. So the landowners of Prussia, they were called by the name as Junkers. So these Prussians took over the leadership of the movement for national unification of Germany. So the middle class Germans, when they were trying to unite the different regions of German Confederation into a nation state, it was suppressed by the Prussians. So the Prussians, they took over the leadership of the movement for the national unification of Germany. So the chief minister of Prussia, so who was the chief minister of Prussia during that particular period was Otto von Bismarck. So he was considered as the architect of the unification of Germany. So Prussia emerged. So in such cases, so Otto von Bismarck, who was acting as the chief minister of Prussia, he declared a war with three countries. He declared a war with three countries, 3 wars for 7 years against Austria, Denmark, France. So Prussia, the Prussian chief minister Otto von Bismarck, he declared three wars for 7 years against the 3 countries, Austria, Denmark and France. And finally, the Prussia emerged victorious after fighting 3 wars over 7 years against the combined forces of Austria, Denmark and France. And thus, the process of unification of Germany was completed. In 18th January 1871, the new German Empire was headed by the German Emperor Kaiser Wilhelm I. He was declared as a head of that particular country, Germany, and in the Hall of Mirrors in the Palace of Versailles. In 18 January 1871, The new German Empire was headed by the German Emperor Kaiser William I, who was declared in the Hall of Mirrors in the Palace of Versailles. So the unification of Germany, it established the Prussian dominance in Europe. The new German Empire, it focused on modernizing the currency, modernizing the banking system, and even the legal and judicial system. After Germany has been unified, after the unification of Germany under Kaiser William I, the new German Empire, it focused on modernizing the currency, banking, legal and judicial system. So this is what we say it as a unification of Germany, which took place between 1866 to 1871. So who was the chief minister of Prussia? Who was acting as the architect of the unification of Germany? He was called as Otto von Bismarck. But who was the German emperor? He was the new German emperor Kaiser William I. So next we move on to the concept of unification of Italy. So a long history of political fragmentation like Germany was experienced in Italy also. So Italy during the middle of 19th century, the country Italy was divided into 7 states among 4 groups. So you can see in the map here, Sardinia, Piedmont, and where they were called as Italian princely houses. Sardinia, Piedmont, they were called as Italian princely houses. The north was under Austrian Habsburg. The center was under Pope, and the south was under the Bourbon kings of Spain. So the country of Italy was divided into 7 states in the mid-19th century under 4 groups. Sardinia, Piedmont, they come under the category of Italian princely houses. The north was under Austrian Habsburg, the center was under Pope, and the south was under the Bourbon kings of the France. So, Italian language also had a variety of dialects, therefore it was not stable in its form. During which year? During 1830s. So Giuseppe Mazzini, an Italian revolutionary, he formed a coherent program for uniting the Italian Republic, and he also formed a secret society called by the name as Young Italy. But the failure of the 1831 and 1848 revolutionary uprisings promoted King Victor Emmanuel II from Sardinia, Piedmont to unify the Italian states. The first step taken to unify the nation of Italy is Giuseppe Mazzini under the secret society called Young Italy. But the revolutionary uprisings has been a failure, and which led to King Victor Emmanuel II of Sardinia, Piedmont to unify the Italian states. So in such cases, the chief minister of Sardinia, Piedmont, who was called as Count Cavour, chief minister of Sardinia, Piedmont, who was called as Count Cavour, he led the movement for the unification of Italy. In 1859, Sardinia, Piedmont, with an alliance, that is a diplomatic alliance with France, he defeated the Austrian forces. So here a large number of people under the leadership of Giuseppe Garibaldi joined the movement. So armed volunteers joined the revolution under Giuseppe Garibaldi. So in such cases, in the year 1860, Sardinia Piedmont forces, they marched towards South Italy and the kingdom of 2 Sicilies. For mainly why they marched towards South Italy and the kingdom of 2 Sicilies is that they drove out the Spanish rulers. That is, they throw out the Spanish rulers. In 1861, Victor Emmanuel was declared as the king of United Italy, and Rome was declared the capital of Italy. So this is what the unification of Italy. So when we recall about the unification of Italy, during the mid of 19th century, the country Italy was divided into 7 states among the 4 groups, one under the Italian princely houses, that is Sardinia, Piedmont, The north was under the control of Austrian Habsburg, the center was under Pope, the south was under the Bourbon kings of Spain. Here the Italian language, they had a variety of dialects, but there was no stable form in it during 1830s. So at that particular period of time, Giuseppe Mazzini, who was an Italian revolutionary, he formed a coherent program for uniting the Italian Republic, and he formed a secret society called Young Italy. But the failure of revolutionary uprisings in 1831 and 1848, it promoted King Victor Emmanuel II from Sardinia, Piedmont to unify the Italian states. So, the chief minister of Sardinia, Piedmont, who was called as Count Cavour, he led the movement for the unification of Italy. So, he joined with an alliance with France in 1859 and defeated the Austrian forces with the help of Giuseppe Garibaldi. So, a large number of people, apart from the regular troops, they joined the Giuseppe Garibaldi for the movement. In 1860, Sardinia Piedmont forces, they marched towards, after the victory here, after defeating France, they started marching towards the South Italy and the kingdom of Two Sicilies, and they drove out the Spanish rulers from the south. So after the Austria has been defeated, France has been defeated, and the Spanish rulers have been defeated, the country of Italy, the entire Italy, has been united. And in 1861, Victor Emmanuel was declared as the king of United Italy, and Rome was declared the capital of Italy. Now we'll move on to the Britain as a nation. So when we speak Britain as a nation, during 18th century, Britain was not considered as a nation state. British was not considered as a nation state. So the primary identities was based on ethnicity. The primary identity of Britain was based on ethnicity as English, Welsh, Scot and Irish. So in such cases, the primary identities of the people has been identified on the basis of ethnicity such as culture, such as English, Welsh, Scot or Irish. All these ethnic groups, they had their own culture and the political traditions. But the English nation steadily grew in wealth, importance and power to dominate the other nation. So the steady growth of power made the English nation extend its influence over the other nations and islands. In 1688, English established as a nation state. So English Parliament, as it became a nation state in 1688, English Parliament seized power from the monarchy. So in 1707, the United Kingdom of Great Britain formed with the Act of Union between England and Scotland. In 1707, the United Kingdom of Great Britain formed with the Act of Union between England and the Scotland. That resulted in the formation of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. So here, English dominated Scotland and Ireland in all spheres. English dominated Scotland and Ireland in all spheres. When we see about Ireland, there are two groups of people. So they were the Protestants and the Catholics. So the Ireland country has been divided between Catholics and the Protestants. So the Protestants have been helped by the English people to establish their dominance over a largely Catholic country. But the Catholics, when they revolted against the British dominance, the revolt has been suppressed. The revolt against British dominance was suppressed. So failure of the revolt by the Wolfe Tone and his United Irishmen in 1798, it forced Ireland to incorporate with the United Kingdom in the year 1801. So a new British nation was forged through the propagation of dominant English culture. So the Ireland country has been divided between Catholics and Protestants. The English helped the Protestants to establish their dominance over a largely Catholic country, but the protest or the revolt which is shown by the Catholics against the British dominance was suppressed by the British. So as the revolt was a failure by Wolfe Tone and his United Irishmen in 1798, So Ireland was forcibly incorporated into United Kingdom in the year 1801. So a new British nation was forged through the propagation of dominant English culture. In such cases, as a new British nation was forged through the propagation of dominant English culture, the symbols of New Britain, that is the British flag called by the name as Union Jack, the national anthem of Britain, it is God Save Our Noble King, God Save Our Noble King, and the English language was actively promoted, and the older nations survived only as a subordinate partners in this union. As the new British nation has been forged, the symbols of New Britain, that is the British flag, the Union Jack, the national anthem, God Save Our Noble King, and the English language were actively promoted, and the older nations survived only as a subordinate partners in this union. So this is about the Ireland, the strange case which took place in Britain and Ireland. So in the next session, we will learn about the visualizing the nation and the nationalism and imperialism. So go through the concepts again and test yourself by reading these questions. Who became the Emperor of United Germany in 1871? Who led the protest in Ireland against the Protestants? Briefly trace the process of German unification. What role did Giuseppe Mazzini play in the Italian unification? The formation of nation state was the result of a long drawn out process in Britain. Explain. If you like this video, you can comment it, you can subscribe it, you can share it. Thank you.